Hey guys, welcome. Welcome to the presentation. This is Ron Douglas. I'm here with Alice Seba. Hey Alice.
Hello, everybody. Nice to see you all here.
Yes. We're looking forward to this presentation. This is a really good one. A lot of people struggle with getting traffic to their website, traffic to their offers, and especially when you're paying for it, you have to be really skilled to make it work, to make the numbers work because it's just so darn expensive. So one of the things I do is I teach people how to become skilled at making that work, but I realize not everybody can get up to speed quick enough, and a lot of times people just need some traffic, just need a win, just need to do it without having a huge budget. And that's why we wanted to cover this today, which is how to get 10 times more traffic and leads through AI content recycling, which is a form of using existing content to get free traffic. And you're going to see it's going to be an eye-opening experience for you tonight. So you definitely want to take notes. You want to turn off all distractions. And you want to really pay attention because sometimes all it takes is just one nugget to be that breakthrough moment for you. So you don't know when that's going to come. It could come at the very end of the presentation. So you want to stay on through the whole presentation. And we have someone today that's a bona fide expert on this topic. He wrote the book, Content Marketing for Dummies. Do you have that book, Alice?
I do not. I'm here to get it. Right? If we stay for the webinar, we get to have access to that. Is that correct?
Yeah. That's what I'm told. Yeah, you guys are going to get a copy of that book. So it's awesome to have such an esteemed author with us for all our writing enthusiasts and writers out there as well. But it's also awesome to have someone who's so savvy at business. He sold 3 startup companies. He's made millions of dollars online. He's one of the go-to guys in the industry when it comes to software and automation and helping writers as well with the software that he has and helping people get free traffic with that software as well. So he's a brilliant guy. I've met him in person at an event. I believe we were in a mastermind event at the Traffic and Conversion Summit together several years ago. And he just kind of blew everybody away with some of the stuff he was doing, cutting edge stuff that people were just not talking about for good reason, right? If you know about the stuff that he's going to share with you today, you kind of want to keep it to yourself, but he's gonna reveal everything he's doing and he's gonna show you exactly how it works. So he's gonna talk about how to get 10 times more traffic and leads through the new AI content recycling. So Paul Clifford, it's an honor to have you with us. I'll let you take it from here and we'll just be in the background answering questions.
Thanks, Ron. I really appreciate that and appreciate the intro there. And, as we were just talking at the beginning, it's been a while. We've actually known each other, I think, for like 4 or 5 years now, if not longer. And yeah, we met at a conference on traffic conversions. And as you know, we've been talking ever since. And so, it's an honor to present this material to your audience. And, I'm really, really excited to get into this. And, I think it's something completely new that no one else has ever seen before. So without further ado, I'm just going to have a quick look at the chat box and make sure people can hear me because I had a few problems with my microphone earlier. So just type in the chat box, hi, and where you're coming from, just so I can see that everyone is hearing me loud and clear. Let's have a look. Mandy says hi, hello to you all. Louis coming in from Toronto, got Diana from Indiana, David from Las Vegas, Regina saying hi, Jerome from Cincinnati, we've got Barb coming in from Nova Scotia, Anne Fleming from Tasmania. That's a good little trip away, Anne. So Tina coming from North Carolina, Catherine, okay, brilliant, loud and clear. Says Richard coming in from Vancouver. Brilliant. All right, thanks. So we've got like a huge audience on tonight, and so what I'm going to do is, rather than just welcome everyone, it's obviously you can all see my screen, obviously you can hear me and everything, and what I want to do is just get cracking into the kind of the meat of this whole presentation, because it's something different. It's something that you've not seen before, and it's a different kind of workshop to one that you may be used to, mainly because I focus on like proven results. We're not gurus and we don't do any cheap talk. It's just consistent, measurable training that you can put into action right away. That's all we're interested in, okay? Because the struggle's hard enough, right? Running an online business, it's not easy. And so we just want to stick to what actually works and follow that. And as long as we can break that whole process down, then we're on to a winner. And this is not some sort of copy and paste, by the way, of any other course or anything like that you've seen. Okay, so this is completely new. Now, so you might be on here just thinking like, is this for me? Well, basically, if you're a writer or a blogger, a podcaster, a marketer, maybe someone who runs webinars or a business owner, maybe someone who creates videos and audios, perhaps YouTube marketing, anything around that area, and especially if you're a marketing agency or a consultant, then this is for you. Okay, let me tell you what it's not, though. It's not one of these make money online webinars. Okay, it's not like, follow these 5 steps and money's going to come charging through your letterbox. Okay, it's not that kind of thing. It's a tactic, it's techniques that actually work. Okay, and it's directly for those people that I just mentioned. Okay, it's going to work for you, and it's interactive. Okay, so first of all, just type in the chat box. Just let me know what's your number one frustration with your online business. Just type in the chat box. What is your number one frustration with your online business right now? Yeah, just type it in. That's it. So Ricky says traffic. Anita says traffic. Shay is saying visibility. Exactly. Mandy saying converting traffic. Barb saying traffic. Tina traffic. Catherine saying I have to wear so many. What's that? So many hats, I guess. Get targeted traffic. Okay, so yeah, it's traffic. Okay. And you're not alone, all right? And the good news is that's what we're going to cover on this session, all right? So it's the most common issue that anyone online has, okay? And as you can buy traffic if you want to, but it's also a quick way to lose your shirt. And so what we try and focus on is the free techniques, so the evergreen traffic, and I'll come to that in a second. Okay, so I'm going to move fast. I'm going to try and get through this, the content as quickly as possible, because I really value your time, and I want you guys to stay focused. So shut down your Facebook or anything else that's going to distract you, because it's worth your time just following this and staying on online and paying attentive. So as I said before, my name is Paul Clifford, and back in the old days, where I'll put there, I was a corporate slave, and I was actually working for some large software companies, and I was building software for larger companies, global companies like Nike, Adidas, a few banks, Carrefour, who are like Walmart, and basically big global organizations. And we did really well, and we sold the last startup that was fulfilling these companies. We sold it for like $45 million, but at the end of the day, I did well out of it, but I was still an employee. So what happened is I then started up on my own and started learning online marketing, and I literally struggled for like 2 years, in fact just over 2 years, and there were so many points during that time where I'm just like thinking, wow, have I made a big mistake here? And I was going to go back into employment again, and all of a sudden I started figuring it out, and I managed to generate thousands of visitors using a method that was actually right under my nose all the time. And so then the method was great, and it worked, but it was laborious. It took a lot of time. Yeah. And so what I did is I built some software to speed up this whole process, and we formed a company called Page One Traffic, and we now have over like 49,000 customers. And I moved to San Diego, and what we did last year is we partnered up with the brand Content Marketing for Dummies, and they asked us to write the foreword for one of their books, that goes in Barnes and Noble. And then at the same time, we produced this shorter book here, and this is the roadmap, the template that anyone can follow to get started in generating traffic and leads to your business using content. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to give you the download version, the digital version of this for free. Okay, so I'll give you a link right at the end, and you can download that and just have that as a thank you from me for sticking around on the webinar. Okay, so let's just reset a second and just have a look at what we're talking about. We're talking about evergreen traffic. And it's not like there's a button on your keyboard called visitors where you just press it and all this traffic comes in. Okay, everyone thinks, oh, online marketing, that's all. It's just press a button, all these customers come in and it's all easy. It's not. There's no button. You can't turn traffic on unless you pay for it, right? And as you know, paying for it gets very, very expensive very, very quickly unless you know what you're doing. And of course, as soon as you stop paying for it and your campaign stops, your traffic stops too. So what we're trying to focus on is what we call evergreen traffic, which is all about generating content that creates visitors. Okay, so what you really want to end up with is an evergreen traffic machine, okay, where all you've got to do is put content in one end and visitors come out the other. And if you have a traffic machine, by the way, if you have one of these evergreen traffic machines, you'll never have to rely on advertising or paid traffic again. And not only that, is you actually have an asset. You have something that you could sell on its own, or you could just try monetizing it using lots of different ways. I mean, products is the obvious one, but maybe you want to send traffic as an affiliate or something else. You can do that too. The key thing is once you've got the traffic in your hand, once you've got the evergreen traffic machine, then you can send that traffic anywhere you want. So the thing is, though, that this evergreen traffic, it doesn't all come in like one big deluge, okay? And in fact, when you visualize and understand how evergreen free traffic works, then it comes in little pieces, okay? So you're going to get a good chunk of it from your blog, from your website, through SEO and things like that. But you'll also get some from YouTube, or if you're a YouTube marketer, some of you might be YouTube marketers on the call today, then that arrow will be thicker for you, for example. But you will also get some from your email list. If you mail your email list with your newsletter or blog post or anything like that, then you're going to get traffic from them. And you'll also get maybe affiliate referrals. You could also get referrals from influencers. If you do any podcasting or plan to do a podcast, then most of your traffic comes from influencers. Perhaps you're into LinkedIn. Perhaps you have a link on Facebook, or perhaps someone just mentions you in a Facebook group. You're going to get traffic from that. Maybe Pinterest, maybe do more visual kind of marketing. Or perhaps you're creating ebooks, and ebooks come in lots of different forms. You can publish ebooks, the PDF version, you can publish that to lots of PDF sharing sites, which generate lots and lots of trickles of traffic. You can put it on SlideShare, which does really, really well, by the way. Or you can publish to the Apple iBook store or to Amazon Kindle and so on. And all these things, when they're added up, all these little streams of traffic, including any sharing activity, all generate a whole load of traffic to your sales page when you add it all up. Okay, so it's worth just understanding that and understanding that it doesn't all come in one big hit. Excuse me a second, just take a drink of water. You guys have to excuse me, I'm just recovering from a cold. And so I have got quite a bit of a cough going on right now. So I'm just trying to keep that under control as we get through this session. So let's just take a look at where marketers are invested in 2018. And a company called DataBox recently ran a survey over the top well-known marketers to find out where they had the most success last year and where they're going to be investing all their efforts in this year. And in fact, not surprisingly, the top 5 forms of traffic was blogging, video, podcasting, webinars, ebooks, and white papers. Okay, and the reason that blogging is the number one is because advertising costs are on the rise. So even the people who do have budget, to run big paid campaigns, they're still putting all their focus on blogging because that's what's going to get the evergreen traffic in the long run. They know that advertising is just going to get more and more expensive, and they won't be able to sustain that in the long term. And the reason blogging is successful and is so successful in terms of growth is something called compound effect. And what that means is basically for every little blog post you publish, it generates an initial burst of traffic. And when someone lands on your website, what's the next thing they most likely do? They probably click on another post. Okay, so each little post generates some traffic. And as the person stays on your site, they might click on another post that generates more traffic for that other post. And so, over a period of a few weeks, with many blog posts going out to the blog, then your traffic can only increase. It can only grow. And that's the reason why it's so successful. And it's called the compounding effect of traffic on your blog. So, if you zoom in and just look at those top 5, if you guys are doing any of those, blogging, video, podcasting, webinars, doing any ebooks, white papers, then you deserve a big pat on the back because, that is the area to focus on for the next 5 years. Okay. And let's face it, producing content is hard. And, if there's any way, that you can make this whole job easier and generate content without all the laborious writing, then that's something that we should put our attention on. So I'm going to give you a bit of an unfair advantage and show you how using those top 5 techniques, how you can sort of 10x your results in a fifth of the time. And that's the kind of thing that we're going to go through today. So basically, if you could take each of those and turn each of those individual techniques from one form into another, you're going to get double the result. Okay, so if you're doing webinars, for example, you could turn a webinar into a blog post. You could turn a video into a blog post. What if you could take a podcast and turn that into a blog post? And then take that blog post and then turn that into an ebook, and maybe take a video and turn that into an ebook too, and take a podcast, make an ebook out of that, and same for webinars and so on. You get the picture, right? So if you can literally convert each of these different elements from one form into another, then you're going to get a lot more results without having to start from scratch. Okay, so without having to write a new piece of content, you can just take an existing piece of content and turn it into another. And the reason this works so well is because people consume content in different ways. Okay, so people consume content using different modalities. I know that's a big word, right? What does that mean? What it means is, some people like to watch videos. Some people prefer to listen, and some people prefer to read. Okay, so you need to appeal to different human senses. And if you can appeal to all those 3 senses, then you're going to triple your reach. Okay, so you're going to triple your audience because you're going to reach a lot more people who will consume your content. Okay, so those 3 senses are the ones that you should focus on. Obviously, there are 2 other senses that you probably know, but touch and smell, but obviously they don't work on the internet yet. Who knows, next few years, right? But this is why, for example, video ads do so well nowadays. Okay, it used to be the only form of getting any content out was static content, so long form written blog posts and things like that. But now videos come out, people consume videos really, really well. And so what a lot of people are doing is turning written content into videos, because what they're doing is they're reaching a new audience. All right. So if you can find a way to recycle content into different modalities, so turn content from one form to another, then you're going to get maximum reach. All right. So I'm just going to give you 5 examples where you can grow your traffic using this technique, using content recycling. And the first one is ebooks. And many of you on this call might well be into writing. You might well be a publisher. So you probably know a lot of this concept, but ebook distribution is growing at a massive rate. And you can use ebooks not just for publishing to make money, but you can also use it for traffic too. And not only that, you can use ebooks as a lead magnet on your website to grow your list faster. So in other words, to give it away in return for an email address. If you just look at the sales of ebooks, 266 million ebook sales in the US in 2017 alone is huge, and it's only going to go up. So if you could convert your content that you've already got into an ebook, then you're already starting to reach a new audience that you didn't have to start with. And that content could be in Word, could be on your website, wherever. If you don't have any content, then you can use a technique called curation. And if you haven't heard of content curation, essentially what it is, it's content curation is where you can take small parts or key elements from other websites and collect them together into one post on your website. And that's called a curated post. And then what you can do is take that curated post and turn that into an ebook. Okay, and I have a whole course on that, and I'll show you that at the end of this session. But even if you haven't written any content yourself, you're able to produce long form content, so 2,000 word posts from other people's content in an ethical and approved way, approved by Google, I mean. So imagine now what you're doing is you're converting your curated post into an ebook, or if you've got content on a website already, you can convert all those posts into an ebook. And then what you do is you distribute that ebook. Okay, so you can distribute it to SlideShare, Kindle, Nook, iBooks, and there's hundreds of PDF sharing sites. And if you remember, all of those generate these little trickles of traffic. So when they all come together and when it all starts adding up, you're going to get a whole load of traffic coming to your site. Okay, type in chat box you're following me so far while I just take another sip of water. Sounds great, says Patricia. Julian, yep, all good. Carl, I'm okay, mate. Appreciate the comment. Okay, cool. So yeah, everyone's with it. Cool. So let's talk on number 2. This is the second example. Is anyone on this call into podcasting, or does anyone want to start a podcast? Type in a yes if you either have a podcast or want to start a podcast. So Tina says yes, yes, yeah. Oh yeah, I got a lot. So Anne, yes, yes. Want to start? Yes, I'm interested. Yep. Okay, cool. So I used to have a podcast, and I'm starting up a new one all around this topic as well. And let me tell you some facts about podcasting. It's great for networking. Yeah, you can get connected with so many people, so many influencers in your network. It's also great for increasing your authority. Okay, because what happens is with you on your podcast, you have a guest on your podcast that perhaps is a step up from you, then your authority is automatically increased. Yeah. And it's great for getting influencers to promote you, because if you get really good guests on your show and then you publish your show and say, hey, can you tweet my show? They're going to go, yeah, of course, because it's got them on it, right? So it's really good for those 3 things. What it's not so good at is actually getting you traffic, at least not straight away. Even though the idea might be sold to you that is a good form of traffic, it isn't. You still have to market it. So even though you've got a great podcast, you still have to sell that podcast and get people, listening to it, at the start, right? And here's the hint, okay? One of the great ways of marketing your podcast is to turn it into content, into written content. And my hint is that Google loves long form content. I don't know if you've ever heard of that before. I don't know if there's any SEO experts on the call, but the one thing that's proven, especially over the last few years, is that if you publish longer form or longer blog posts, let's be clear on this, long blog posts, like over 2,000 words, you're going to get more traffic to your website. Okay, and there's a lot of research around this. So a company called SERP IQ, they analyze the top 10 results for a whole variety of keywords. And, they discovered that, the top ranking websites, the top ranking posts were all like 2,500 words long. Okay. If you ever heard of this guy, Neil Patel, he's done a lot of tests in this. And now all of his articles are 4,000 words plus. Okay. And, he's a pretty of a traffic guru. So the fact is that with podcasting, if you turned your podcast, your audio file into show notes, so in other words, the show notes is the transcription, then what you end up with is what's called long form content. And that content, you can turn that into an ebook to get signups for your list. Okay, so you get two benefits with your podcast. First of all, transcribing it, turning it into that long form blog post. So that's where you start getting the Google love. And then secondly, turn it into a lead magnet or an ebook, and you give away the ebook in exchange for the email address, and that's how you grow your list. And if you've ever done any research into podcasting, this is actually how the big guys are doing it. This is how they're getting all this traffic. Yeah. Because if you publish a podcast tomorrow, you're not going to get any traffic. You have to publish the transcripts. Yeah. And it's the transcripts that start getting the search engine love. So this guy, I don't know if you've heard of a guy called James Schramko. He's a good friend of mine, comes over here surfing. He's been doing podcasting for a huge amount of time. Okay. He's probably one of the most well-known podcasters out there. And, on his site, if you go to his site, superfastbusiness.com, you'll see every single podcast episode has this same structure. Okay, so it has the full transcript available to the search engines. Okay, and what he also has is a PDF version of that same transcript. Okay, and he puts that behind an opt-in form to grow his list. Okay, so this is the double whammy. So he's basically turning his podcasts, his audio files into transcripts. Yeah, turn the transcript into an ebook. Yeah, putting all that on his website, and that's what's doing the double whammy, growing his traffic and growing his list at the same time. Do you follow that? Let me know. Anne says, love James. Retha's saying, launching my podcast. Louis follows it. Julian got it too. Brilliant. Okay, so how do you go about doing that? It's quite simple. You can use a transcribing company like rev.com, and they charge $1 a minute. Okay, and the transcription takes normally about 12 to 24 hours. You get the transcription back as a whole load of text. You need to obviously edit it, and you need to add images and things. Okay, because on its own it's just a bunch of text and it looks a bit boring. But when you get all the text in, add images, make it look like a good quality blog post, and once you've got have it as a blog post, then create a lead magnet from that and then publish it. Okay, it takes about 4 hours to do the whole thing end to end. Okay, but using this technique, then you will get more traffic and leads. Right, it's simple. And just to illustrate the fact that transcripts generate traffic, this radio show called The American Life, I don't know how many people are in the US in the audience, but they transcribed their entire audio archive and posted transcripts online, and they found that 6% of all their unique visitors who came from search traffic originated or landed on that transcript page. Okay, so just adding the transcript increased the overall inbound traffic. Okay, So that's like example number 2 of content repurposing and how it really works for any audio files. Let's just talk about video files for a second. Is there anyone on the call who does any YouTube marketing or creates any online courses? Just type in the chat box, just give me a clue, because then I'll know how much time to spend on this piece. Not yet, not yet. Yes, yes. Okay, cool. And Anne's doing a course. So, you know, the golden thing with YouTube is obviously you want to get your YouTube videos ranked higher. All right. And the problem is that, you know, YouTube is a video, right? Your video file is, you know, a visual representation. And so Google never does a very good job at knowing what the content is. And so it's really difficult to rank. And so that's why you have to do things like tagging and things like that to try and get it to rank higher. Well, you know, what you can do is simply take your video or your YouTube file, and to get more traffic, what you do is you do a transcript of that YouTube file, and you can insert it into the description box, and that's the magic source to getting more SEO to your YouTube videos. Okay, so you just insert the transcript to the whole video in the description box, and then Google treats it like long form content again. Okay, so it gives it lots of credibility and lots of Google love. And so what you can also do, by the way, if you do a course like a video course, then, you know, transcribe your video course, and especially if you do any step-by-step videos or anything like that, then transcribe it and put screenshots for each step and turn that into like a PDF download. And it works really well, because what you're doing is you're giving away bits of content to people who might otherwise, you know, bypass your course. Yeah, if you give them a download to a couple of modules for free in a PDF form, then what's going to happen is they're going to go, wow, this content's really good, and they're more likely to buy from you. They're more likely to subscribe or buy your course. So the other thing you can do, of course, is create a blog post from that YouTube video with screenshots as well. Okay, so similar process to podcasting, except you've got the video element now. So you insert the transcript, you get it transcribed using Rev or whatever, and you put that transcript in the description box for more SEO. You transcribe your video course with screenshots to provide a PDF summary. You then convert your YouTube into a blog post with screenshots, and then turn that blog post again into an ebook to use a lead magnet to grow your list at the same time. Okay, it's amazing, right? So one study done by LiveClicker compared 37 web pages before and after adding transcripts, and pages with transcripts earned on average 16% more revenue than they did before transcripts were added. Okay, so, you know, technique works. Okay, let's get on to the next topic. Just going to grab a quick sip of water. Okay, so webinars. So you're on one now. Okay, anyone else do any webinars? Anyone do any training webinars or anything like that? Just type in the chat box, let me know. Catherine wants to. Julian, yes. Anne, yes. David, yes. The other Davids, no. Tina, yes. Louis will do soon. Yes, yes. Okay. So webinars are great because they're a step-by-step way of educating people and getting feedback at the same time. Okay. Plus, you know, you're engaged, right? But the big problem with webinars, in fact, there's two big problems. One is that people don't show up. Okay. So we've got a few hundred on this call, but, you know, a lot more registered for the call. And so a lot of people don't show up. And so the solution to that from a marketing perspective is that we send them a replay. The problem with that is that 50% of those people will never watch the replay either. Okay, so you're putting all this effort into this webinar, and all these people are expressing interest, but life gets in the way, and they don't want to sit down and watch a video. Yeah, and it comes down to the modalities. Remember right at the beginning when I was talking about different people have different modalities. Some people just will never watch a video. They will never watch a webinar. But what they will do is they will read a transcript of the webinar. Okay, so if you want more conversions or more audience or more reach for your webinars, then what you should do is transcribe that webinar into a PDF. And what you can do is email that PDF in the closing email sequence. So when you close down the webinar a few days later, whatever, and you've got all these people who haven't watched it live, that haven't watched the replay, but they will read what it's about, okay? And you can deliver that by emailing a PDF in the closing email sequence. Okay, it's really straightforward. And when I've tested that, I've got an extra bump of 10% in conversions. Okay, so that you should be scribbling that down quite quickly. All right, webinars are a great low-cost solution to capture leads and engage with an audience in real time. But once the webinar is over, you're not done yet. You've got a video recording that's ripe for search engine optimization. A simple hack to milking your webinars for SEO is to transcribe. Okay, so transcribe, put it into a PDF, email your audience with it. You get more eyeballs on your content that way. Okay, let's just talk, this is actually number 5, not number 4, but let's just talk about agencies. So if anyone on here, type in the chat box, let me know if you're an agency, a consultant, perhaps a writer who writes for other people, okay, and you're looking to expand your services. Just let me know whether you guys are on there. Louis will do soon. Louis is the editor. Tina says, yeah. Julian's an agency. Regina's consultant. David, James, Angus. Okay, cool. So quite a few of you, and this is really simple. So an easy $1,000 a month service that you can sell either to your existing clients or you can go out. You can offer a lot of these services that I've already shown you as a service, okay? What you can do is create blog posts, okay, because all your clients want blog posts, right? I can tell you that for sure. Pretty much everyone on this call who's done any consulting, what they actually want is they want someone else to write their blog for them. And the problem with writing blog posts is you, as the agency, you've got to come up with the content, right? And the person who has the brains on the content, okay, so for example, let's see, Saritha's a healthcare nurse. Let's say it's in the medical field, for example. You don't have that knowledge, okay? You have to get that knowledge from your client. And so what you can do is you can get your client to record into their phone their content because they're really good at talking, all right? So, okay, they're not very good at writing blog posts, but they're really good at talking. And so they can talk their content into the phone and just send that to you, send you that audio file, right? And then you can create blog posts from that using transcription. And so the service that you can offer is, for $1,000 a month, you could do 2 blog posts a month, a monthly lead magnet, so turning that content that you've already produced into an ebook, for example, and perhaps turn that ebook into a flip book. And the flip book is one of those dynamic ebooks that people can read on their mobile phone. Okay. And then submit the PDF version of that content to SlideShare and the other sites for for more traffic. Okay, so this is in addition to whatever you're doing today. Okay, so you might be doing social media for these clients, or all the traditional forms of that all the other agencies are doing, but you can differentiate yourself by doing, a blog posting service, and not just any old blog posting service, but one that has real value. You're providing them with an ebook, and a flip book, and you're submitting the PDF to all these other sites. Okay, it's huge value to them. Okay, so get your clients to record their content. It's the best way to get the knowledge out of their heads, and then you can get the audio file and then turn that into a blog post, and then of course you'll turn that into an ebook. Okay, cool. So let's just summarize these examples. So the benefits of recycling content. So the first one we talked about was ebooks. Converting your content into ebooks, Kindle, lead magnets, Apple iBook Store, PDF sharing sites, all those types of things. If you're interested in a podcast, the key thing with growing an audience with a podcast is to produce show notes or transcripts, and take those transcripts and turn them into an interesting blog post, and then turn that blog post into a lead magnet for that particular podcast episode. If you're doing YouTube videos, then you can get more SEO, okay, by using the transcript in the description box, okay? And you can also turn those YouTube videos into a blog post and link back to the YouTube channel, okay? If you're doing any video courses, then you can get more customers by creating downloadable summaries of the handouts or of the video course. And with webinars, you can get more sales by delivering a PDF version in your closing emails. And if you're an agency or a writer, then offer a content conversion or a content blogging service, okay? But get the clients to record it for you. You save a ton of time, and you get the content that they really want too. Okay, so you can do all of that really, really easily. I went through the costs. Basically, to do something like that using Rev, $1 a minute, and if you did, if you took, say, a podcast and you took 30 minutes per episode, so per audio or per podcast, and it took 12 to 24 hours to turn it around with Rev. And then, by the time you've edited it and published it, and even if you outsource it to, some person doing it at $10 an hour somewhere, then the rough costs over a year, $3,360. Okay. And of course, if you're doing that for someone else, though, you can charge like $12,000 for that. Okay. Hope that maths add up. My cold isn't helping, but you can see that all you got to do is do the transcription, do all the editing and everything, and it's just over 3,000 a year. Okay, now what if there was an easier way to do this? Okay, I've shown you the technique. Okay, you know what to do now, and I've shown you how you can go and get that done. But what if there was an easier way of doing all that? Okay, what if you could produce instant automated transcriptions from your podcast videos, MP4s, MP3s that actually take minutes, not hours, at a fraction of the cost? Don't you think that would be interesting? What if doing that, it could take automated screenshots, of your videos and put those into your blog posts, into your ebooks. And you can also add more images automatically straight into the transcript. What if you could embed that whole transcript into your blog so you don't even have to write the blog post? What if you could do all that and convert your existing content, whether it's in Word or on your website already? What if you could do that and create ebooks from your existing content, from your existing PDFs, and even do those fancy 3D image covers, so it looks like a real book? You know what I mean? So if you could do all that, then you would achieve all the goals that we set out to do right at the start. Converting all these different forms of content from one form to another, and you can actually do all that and everything all automatically using a new piece of AI technology that we call Designrr AI. And what that does essentially is converts content from one form to another. In other words, recycles content from one form to another. So for example, what it can do is transform a blog post directly into a PDF ebook. It could also, for example, take a Word document and turn that into, an EPUB publication that's suitable for like Apple iBooks or, a ton of stuff that support EPUB, of course. What if you could perhaps transform a blog post into a dynamic sort of flipbook, or perhaps take a YouTube video and turn that into a PDF? You ever seen that done before, right? Or even take your podcast MP3 audio file and turn that actual audio file, turn that into a blog post. All right, so do all the transcription, the layout, the design, everything. Don't you think that would be cool? Just type in the chat box. Say, yeah, that's cool, or something like that. Thanks, Eddie. Cool. Lots of cools, lots of yeps. Okay, cool. Good. I'm glad to see a lot of excitement there, because we're really excited about this. I mean, this is quite amazing technology that I think is just going to blow your mind. So just take another sip of water. So this AI technology, it transforms content, and it does it in such a slick way that you'll never need a designer. You'll hardly have to write again, okay? And you can generate more traffic than you ever have before. And if you're an agency, it's such an easy service that you could add on to your existing service lines for minimal cost. So what I do is I'm just going to do a little demo and just show you this. And instead of doing a podcast file or something like that, I'm going to use a YouTube video file just for fun, because it's a webinar. I found a YouTube video called How to Tie a Bow Tie. Okay, so what you do is you just take that link, you grab the URL of the YouTube video, and then you log into Designrr. And Designrr, as I said before, it imports content from a ton of different sources. So you can import from a URL. Okay, so you can just literally put your blog post URL and it will suck it in, and it will remove all the navigation, all the ads, all the social sharing, everything like that. It will find on that web page, it will find the raw content, the raw article for you. Okay, or you can import from a Word docx file, import from a PDF. Perhaps you've already got a PDF with content on it and you want to give it a new look, a new revamp. You can import from Facebook. So you can take your Facebook page, with all your posts on it, and import that. And if you're an agency, you can actually import from groups too. Okay, so if you have a Facebook group and you want to create an ebook from your Facebook group, in other words, with all the posts that month, then you can do that using this tool. You can import manually. So for example, if you've got something in Google Docs, whatever, you can do that. You can start from scratch with a new draft. You can create a dynamic flipbook, or you can import from any audio, video, or YouTube link. Okay, that's what it's just going to show you now. So I've got my YouTube link and I've pasted that in to Designrr. Okay, how to tie a bow tie. And literally after 2 minutes, I get the transcript back, and it comes back in this editor and it highlights the text as the video is playing, so you can see if there's any typos or anything like that. But the quality of this transcription is 97%. Okay, so it is amazing. And so as long as the content is English, then you'll end up with only 3% of your content that you might have to correct. Okay, so the odd typo as such. And then what happens is you just play the video and it highlights the content, so you can just check it's all come in perfectly. And as you're going through the content, you literally click or press Control I or Command I, and it will take a screenshot of that video and push it into the content as you're going through. Okay, so this is just amazing for like step-by-step videos. You know, when you get to step 2, you do Control I, bang, in goes your screenshot. Okay, and then what's cool is if a domain name's mentioned in the podcast or in the YouTube or in the context of the text anywhere, then again, with like one click, it will go out and it will take a screenshot of that website. Okay, so in this example, what it's done is it's detected harryrosen.com as a website, and it's gone out to harryrosen.com. It's taken a screenshot of that website, miniaturized the image, and pull it back into the content for you. Okay, and then any content or anything that's mentioned that sounds really cool, then what you can do is just highlight that. And so what happens is in the final blog post or in the final ebook, it gets highlighted at the top. Can you see the highlights there? So anything you highlight that you think is an important quote, then you just stamp it there, and then it gets pulled into the final content and put at the top there. You can also like block quote any phrases. So, you know, there's cool phrases that people that you want to bring out of the text. Then you just highlight that, click a button, and it will convert it to a block quote for you. So once you've gone through that, what we call the transcription review phase, so you just review to make sure there's no typos, you've just pulled in the images that look good. It's like a first draft, right? And it's done all the hard work for you. The next step then is you just choose a template, and there's hundreds of templates covering a ton of different niches, and all these are customizable. You don't have to stick to any of these at all. You just pick on the closest one that looks good, you know, and you've got 1 column, 2 column versions, you've got different color schemes, different niches. There's hundreds of them for you to choose from, and you can create you know, an ebook from this or a blog post from this, literally just by selecting any style you want. So you select a template, and then what happens is it opens that template and imports your content into this editor. Okay, so we call this the formatter, and this is where you just like review the format of everything and make sure it all looks nice, right, and nice and pretty. So, you know, it's the template I chose from the template chooser. You know, it has a picture of a room there. Okay, it's no good to me because it's about tying a bow tie. So I just need to first of all just change that cover image, you know, that top image. I like the color scheme, I just don't want that image. And so what you can do is just click on the image icon and type in the word bow tie, which is what I did, and it found another image which is a lot more appropriate. Okay, so in 2 clicks it switched it to this. And that works for me. Okay, that looks like a really cool image that I want for, you know, for my content. Okay, so then you just customize anything else you want in the content. All right, so you can see all the images being pulled in and all the text has been pulled in, and you know, I might just want to change the text color or the style. There's over 720 different fonts, okay, you can choose from. Right, and you can obviously do all the usual editing that you'd expect to do in any text editor. Okay, and so once you've done all that and you think that looks good, it's all laid out, looking pretty, it matches your theme, then you just click publish, and you can then publish to PDF. You can publish to Kindle. Okay, so you can create a Kindle book direct from that. You can publish to EPUB. You can publish to HTML. So that can go directly onto your blog. And so the PDF version just comes out looking like that. Okay, so you can see down the left-hand side, you have like all the different pages there. And every page is, you can have it page numbered. You can insert a table of contents, for example. All that can be done automatically. Every footer for every page has a link back to your site, wherever you want it to go. And so you have a real dynamic PDF file that's ready to go anywhere, and it'll start sending you traffic. Okay, whereas anyone reads that, because all the links in that PDF file will go back to wherever you want it to go. So then all you need to do then is create one of those fancy 3D cover images, you know the ones I mean, that make your PDF or make your cover image look like a book. And so that's all built in. It's literally with one click, you get that image generated for you. Okay, so that's your PDF ebook done for you with the 3D image. Okay, and that's all been done in a few minutes. And then to put it on your blog, you click on export again and export as HTML, and it just gives you all the code to copy and paste. You don't need to touch the code, or you don't care what's in it. All you do is copy it, and then you just paste that into your blog page. You know, if you're using WordPress, you just create new post, go to the text tab, paste in that content, and that's how it appears. Okay, so this is the Designrr blog, and literally this is a real live example. It's exactly what we did. Okay, so if you're using WordPress, David, yeah, it's perfect. Okay, if you're using Wix, whatever it is, it doesn't matter, because you're just pasting in the code and it just ends up like that. And then you can then create a shareable flipbook. So these are really cool. You know, if you need to send someone a link to a PDF, it works fine via email on a laptop or something like that. But on mobile, PDFs aren't great. But what you can do is share a flipbook. Okay, and a flipbook looks like this. Can you see the page flipping? Okay, and that's one link that generates that on your phone or on your laptop. Okay. So, you know, what I've just shown you there is we've just transcribed a video with AI accuracy, 97%. We've captured the screenshots automatically. We did timestamps and block quotes. We produced an ebook, the 3D cover image, and published a blog post, all in about 20 minutes. Okay. Well, that's how long it took me to do that. Obviously, it's taking a little less time to show you, but it took me 20 minutes to do all that. And I think you've got to agree that is pretty awesome. Type in the chat box what you think about that. Cool, cool, awesome, awesome, great, great, great. Bloody hell, wow, so share. Love it. Good, 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 good. Okay. So what you've seen is Designrr AI, okay, and we're in the process of launching. We've been doing some test launches so far, and we've got a ton of people using this now. And you know, to summarize, what Designrr will do is it will transform any piece of content into something else. Okay, so if you've got content on Medium, on YouTube, WordPress or Facebook, perhaps Shopify, a podcast, PDF, some other video platform, Word, whatever, you can import it all and then you can export it into a different form. Okay, so you've got iBooks, you've got Kindle, dynamic flipbooks, SlideShare, WordPress, and so on. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is I want to show you how you can get your hands on this. Okay. Let me just see how many people. So we've got a few hundred on the call. So this is the pricing that we're launching. Okay. So there's two editions. There's the agency premium, which is $4,997 per year, and the premium, which is $997 per year. And the differences are, you know, fundamentally, if you want to do this for someone else as an agency, then obviously you go for the agency edition, and it gives you more transcription hours per month. So you have 25 transcription hours per month. You can export to any website. It's multi-user. You have a custom template tool, so you can create templates to match your current brand. Okay, it's really cool. And you have over 200 different cover designs built in. You have the 3D cover image tool I showed you. You have over 200 additional project templates, page numbering, table of contents generator. You can import from Word, Google Docs, PDF. You can export to Kindle, iBooks, EPUB. You have the flipbook generator, and you can import from any Facebook page and group. Okay, so that's the agency premium edition. And the premium edition, so this is like for you, if you've got, just yourself, okay, and you're doing it for your own business, your own site, then you do the premium edition. And for that, you get 4 hours transcription per month, which is, plenty. And again, you can export to your website. Obviously, it's not multi-user, it's single user. And there's no custom template tool in that one, okay? But all the other features you get. And just understand this, right? If you were doing this yourself manually, let's just check on the value a second, okay? So using a transcription service like rev.com and outsourcing some of the editing, it's going to cost you $3,360 per year. And also what I did, just to validate this, I also went to some third-party companies who do this, like, the podcast show notes services. And so I went to the professional ones and I went to Fiverr. And, if you're doing any of this kind of stuff, then the minimum you're going to get away with is paying $2,880, okay, to get the same sort of value as what you're getting with Designrr AI. So with premium, for example, instead of paying $3,360 or $2,880 using the professionals, you can do it all yourself for $997, which I think is great value. I really do. So, because we're on this workshop, and because all you guys have been so enthusiastic, and I did promise Ron that we'd do something special, then I could put together a special offer for you guys, okay? So not only do you get Designrr AI plus all those features I went through, I want to make sure that there is nothing missing in your whole business marketing plan, okay? So not just Designrr, but all your content marketing, right? So what I have is a course called Picasso. And this course consists of 5 modules which take you through everything from planning to building your content infrastructure, so your website, your lead machine, to going through your content creation, how to create content really quickly without writing, okay? How to amplify that content, how to boost it and get the eyeballs, how to set up, your Facebook boost campaigns and all that kind of stuff, and then in module 5, how to measure it, how to measure results so you know what's actually working. Okay, this course is 5 modules, it's 33 videos, okay, PDF worksheets, and of course the book. And we sell that course for $1,997, and I'm going to give that to you for free as a bonus if you come on board with Designrr AI. But I'm going to do something else too. What I also have is a fill in the blanks 90-day blueprint to success. Okay, so this is like a worksheet, so you can follow this every day, go through the course, read the book, and then fill in the blanks on the worksheet, and then you'll know where you are. It helps keep you on track, keep you focused. Okay, what I've also done is going to give you access to our private Facebook group. Okay, so we have over 7,000 people in this group, all content creators, content marketers, okay, all creating ebooks, podcasters, and we all help each other, right? And I mentioned earlier on about content curation. Okay, so if you're new to content curation and don't know how that works, how to do that really effectively, then bonus number 4 is how to get traffic, leads, and customers using our content curation. And that's our course, which you sell for $497. And, I talked about uploading PDFs to different sites to get more traffic. So we actually have a guide on all the best sites to do that, the best sites to actually get traffic to your business using PDF uploads, okay? And that's available to you for $497. And last but not least, bonus number 6 is we have live weekly coaching calls, okay? So this is a call that's done in our Facebook group by this chap here, who's Eric, and he does all our coaching, okay? And you have access to him. You can even have one-on-ones with him, okay? But the very minimum, we do live weekly coaching, all right? So that's pretty good package. Okay, so not only do you get the Designrr AI plan, and depending which option you choose, you got the 4,997 one or the 997 one. You also get our content marketing course, the 90-day fill in the blanks blueprint, the Facebook group, the content curation course, the top 10 PDF traffic sites, and live weekly coaching calls. Okay, all that totals up to $8,979 if you're an agency, or $4,979 if you're a single user doing it as a premium plan. Okay, so the offer today, I'm reducing that to $1,497 if you're an agency, or $497 for a premium. Okay, which I think you'll agree is an amazing offer. But I'm just looking at the chat box and the audience we have here, because I think we can do this next bit. So we've got quite a large audience, but what I'm going to do is just go an extra step further for everyone on this call. Okay, get ready for this, okay, because it's limited. And so for literally the first 50 customers, okay, so the first 50 people who jump on this, okay, I'm going to reduce it down again to $997 for the agency, or $297 for the premium. Okay, so that's the offer right now. There's the link at the bottom. It's go.designrr.io/Ron. Okay, if you go there right now, Alice, if you can put the link in the chat box, that would be amazing. And then what happens is, if you go to that link, you'll end up going to the sales page, and you'll end up at a checkout cart page like this. Okay, and you'll see at the bottom where the coupon code gets entered. Okay, so go.designrr.io. All right, if you do that right now, then you should get in under the first 50. I hope. There's quite a lot of people on the call, so it might be a bit of we might run out before the end of the call. But jump on it now. Let me know in the chat box, type in the chat box that that you're in, okay? Type in chat box that you're in.
I just have to say that's a great offer. And guys, I approached Paul and I said, can you drop the price? I really had to twist his arm to get him down this low. He doesn't usually do this, because as you can see, this software is fantastic. I mean, it's worth its weight in gold, because you can't think of it in terms of the initial upfront fee. Just think of all the traffic you're going to get, all the things you can do with it. If you're an agency, all the clients you can get using this. If you're just an affiliate driving traffic, all the commissions you can get from all the free traffic that you're generating from all these different, leveraging all these different mediums, all these different media, all these different sites with this type of content, and doing it easy and automated. So think of it in terms of how much you're going to make, how much traffic you're going to get. If you're a multi-level marketer, think about how many leads you're going to get from this. If you're an author, think about how many additional book sales it could bring you, or how big it could build your list. I mean, the sky is the limit. You guys said you were struggling with traffic. This is a way to get it for free. Just think about how much ongoing traffic you're going to get using this as well. You could blow $1,500, $1,000 on Facebook in a day, in a couple of days, in a weekend, and it won't get you ongoing traffic. Once your budget runs out, then that's it, right? You got to ante up some more money. But with this, it's going to enable you to get that ongoing residual traffic in for free. So I think it's a wise investment. Definitely, I'm going to get my hands on a copy of it, and it just saves you so much time. If you value your time, this is the way to go for sure. I don't know if Alice is on, if she has any feedback on it.
I am here. I did put the link in the chat, and I agree with you, and being able to shortcut the process to do this is amazing. For me, content marketing has been my game since 2002, And I, over the years, I have all this content. I am constantly reusing it and repurposing it. But this is taking it to a whole different level, turning it into different formats and things like that. That's something that I haven't had such an opportunity to do. And this just makes it simple, right? So this and reusing content is like, I would say it's responsible for a huge percentage of sales for me. So doing something like this could expand that even further.
Cool. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, Alice. That's great. We've got quite a few people come in already. Henry's in. David say this is truly an amazing offer. A few others. Catherine's in. Phyllis is in. Okay, this is going quite quick, guys. So if you're at all interested in this, there's a 30-day guarantee, by the way. Okay, so if you decide it's not for you, that's fine. All right, but don't miss out on this offer right now, because I have done this webinar before, and those first 50 go very, very quickly. Okay. So Louis is saying, how long will those prices be available? Louis, until the 50 run out. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. All right. And by the way, you're not guinea pigs. All right. I want to make that clear, that you're not the first people to use this. So you're not going to go into some buggy, unreliable software. This is stable software. We have 45,000 people. No, 49,000 people using Designrr today. Okay, let's be clear on that. All right, and just a few testimonials for you, just while you guys are getting in. So Dave Alonso, he runs a recruitment software company called RMS Tracker, and he sent me this. Like within 9 minutes, I had my audio transcribed, amazingly accurate. And then Designrr turned it into a blog post and an ebook, and it saved me hours of work. Matt Wolf. So Matt Wolf runs a really cool podcast. You should check it out, by the way, called Hustle and Flow. And he's an expert in repurposing. So he said Designrr has saved us so much time in our business. We like to create blog posts and then repurpose them as PDFs on several other websites. It's been great for SEO. And using Designrr, we've managed to spread our content everywhere. And it takes about 10% of the time that it used to. It's an integral part of our business now. Ruthie Bowles is a content marketer. She runs a content marketing consultancy called OST Global Solutions. So I just used the transcription feature in my first podcast, and the words are just flowing. So awesome. I'm in love. I may never write a post again. Tracy Lawrenson, she runs an e-learning company called Paragon Strategic Services. I seriously cannot believe the transcription. It's super accurate and very, very cool. Nelson Ruger, Designrr made it ridiculously easy for us to create and then publish an ebook that looked great. Was easy to read and looked incredibly professional. The tools included allowed us to quickly pull in the information we needed and sort it in a way that made the book flow. Editing the content is just as easy. We were able to drop in our own media as needed throughout the book and make it really stand out. And Designrr has been a critical part of our success. Okay, so I've got a couple of other videos of testimonials here, but before I go into that, I'm just going to quickly check the question box and make sure everyone's in okay and happy. There's quite a lot actually. So got quite a lot of ins. So Phyllis got it. Share done. I'm in. Thank you, Share. Patricia says, do you have the download link for the free book? I do. Give me a minute, Patricia. Let me just get through this first. And so Dora's just saying, can you please go over what the custom tool can do again, please? I'm trying to decide between the agency premium options. I'll be doing this just for me and my hubby. So what it is you remember the templates that I showed you earlier on? Let me see if I can whiz back to those in the demo. Here, Okay, so we provide hundreds of these templates, and once you're once you choose any template, you can change it however you like. Okay, so you can change any of the colors, the layouts, margins, cover pages, whatever you want. However, if you're doing this time and time again, okay, and you have a certain style that you want to maintain, then what is a much more efficient way of working is to create your project once. Okay, so set all your colors, your styles, your font colors, and everything like that, and then convert that into a template, so that next time you do a conversion, instead of choosing one of our templates, although these will still be here, you can just show your own templates. Okay, and you can just select one straight away, and it's already styled, so it's just less work, Dora. Does that make sense? Eddie says I'm in. Phyllis says, what's the annual rebill amount? Phyllis, this is locked in. Okay, so you will not pay any more next year. Okay, so the annual rebill amount is exactly the same as what you're paid now. This is like guaranteed discount. Your discount's locked in, so nothing's going to change on you. So you've got nothing to worry about there. Okay, Mary's got a great question. So what happens if you need more hours? Let's see if I've got the details on that. Oh, I thought I had a slide on that, Mary. Basically, there's an option inside your profile. Okay, you can buy more hours. All right, and you can buy it in two ways. You can either buy, what you need right now. So let's say you just need a couple of extra hours this month, then you can just add those to your cart and buy, or you can buy like the same number of hours every month. If you see what I mean, you get a discount on that. Either way, the price works out to like 17 cents per minute. Okay, so it's negligible. It's hardly anything as a bolt-on. All right, so we don't really make money on the bolt-on hours. At the moment, our main goal is just to get as many customers using this as possible, because we want to take this to larger companies, and obviously larger companies want to see more users. So hope that answers your question, Mary. Dora's saying thanks. Phyllis saying wonderful. Okay, brilliant. Type in the chat box, let me know that you're in. I haven't done a count of how many licenses we've got left, but there's got to be at least 20 or 30 I can see just in the chat box. So if you're on the fence, or if you've got any questions or any niggles, type them in. Just let us know. Okay, I've been in the software business a long time. This is my fourth startup. The last three have all been sold successfully, and I know software. I know what's important to people. I know what ease of use is and how important that is. I also know how important a good support network is. We have support people based in all time zones. So we have people in the US, and I have people in Europe. Okay. And by the way, from a support perspective, we have support built into the app in a chat. Okay. So if you've got a question, you just type it in the chat, right? You don't have to go outside of the system and log a ticket. Yeah, because that way then, we can talk to you, within the app and help you out much, much faster. Okay. And like, you'll find that if you're struggling with something, perhaps you can't get the right look or something like that, if you ask any of my support team, they'll probably dive in and just fix it for you. They love doing that kind of stuff. Yeah. So, I can promise you're going to love it. Oh, and by the way, we're probably the only software company at this kind of price level that does one-on-one training. So if you need training, or if you decide, man, I'm just struggling with this, you just put in the support chat and say, hey, I need a one-on-one. Okay, and they just send you a link to schedule a call. 9 times out of 10, it could be within the next hour. And then you do a one-on-one session, and everyone who comes out of that session is happy. Okay. Plus you get the Facebook groups, you get peer support from everyone else. Dora's just saying, just checking this is all cloud-based, so it'll work on any computer. Yes, Dora. Okay, so you can use this from anywhere around the world, you know, any laptop or desktop, basically. And we recommend Google Chrome browser. It does run on Firefox and Safari as well, but Google Chrome seems to us to be the most stable. Okay. Terry, let me just have a quick look at your question, Terry. So Terry's just saying, if I want to update the generated PDF, do you keep the original content and PDF online and modify it, or do I need to reprocess the content? So Terry, all your content stays online, and then what you do is when you click publish, it turns that into a PDF. Now, when you get the PDF and you think, nah, I don't like that look, or you want to change some text, you just go back into the editor, change the text, and then republish again. Does that make sense? Yeah, so all the content's all there. So, you know, you can create 5 different copies of 5 different versions of the same thing if you wanted to, just by changing it. But yeah, you can go back and re-edit and change anything. Okay. Louise is saying, I'm on my iPad. Louise, you'll be able to check out on your iPad. You just using the software is best on a laptop or a desktop or something like that. Okay. Patricia. Oh, okay, Patricia, you're waiting for the link. Give me 2 minutes. I'll get the link for you. Hold on. Terry is just reconfirming. Yeah, all your content stays in your library online. Okay. Yeah. Remember, you know, the other thing, if you're doing any podcasting, you can turn, you know, once you've done a few, you could turn all those podcasts into a book. How powerful is that? You know, if you've ever heard of Tim Ferriss, I'm sure a lot of you have. You know, he wrote the 4-Hour Work Week and the 4-Hour Body, but he also published a book called Tools of Titans. It's a massive book, and essentially that book is all his podcasts. He just took all those podcasts, turned them into a book, and instantly had an Amazon bestseller. You know, it's cool, right? Let's get this link. Okay, so any more questions? Type in the chat box. Okay, Patricia, I put the link there for you. Vance is saying this is incredibly valuable. Yeah, I agree, Vance. Okay, any more ins? Let me know. Any more ins? Anyone on the fence? Type in the chat box. Let me know. Dora has asked me the name of my new podcast. I don't know yet. You know, it's funny. That's the one thing I'm struggling with. A good name for it. Because Designrr's not the only tool, right? So we have Designrr as this software. We have another content marketing platform called Kudani, which does a completely different thing, but all within the content marketing world. And we have the Picasso course, the book. So we're going to kind of incorporate everything into one sort of content marketing podcast. Okay. So Anne's saying definitely one in. Hope a space can be held. Just have to sort out finances. All right, Anne. I'm sure it will. Terry's saying, is this the same as Designrr Pro? No, Terry, this is completely different level. Okay, cool. So just looking in chat box, any other questions? Alice or Ron, anything I've missed there? Do you think I've covered everything? Dora's
I'm looking. It looks
saying,
like you covered it all. Again, you guys want to definitely jump on this before the 50 spots are gone, because I don't know when he's going to ever do this type of deal in this software. Again, as he mentioned, he's going enterprise with this thing, but he's going to be raising the prices significantly. So you definitely want to jump in and grab this deal. You're going to look back a year from now and have a need for this software and wish that you had got it now. So even if you don't have the time to use it right now, you definitely want to grab it at this special price, because believe me, you're going to be doing content marketing at some point in the future, and this is a huge plus, a huge asset to have to actually do it more effectively and save yourself a lot of time and get a lot of free traffic from it as well. I see Louis says he's in now. Awesome. All right, this is the last call, guys. We're going to wrap it up. If you have any other questions, now's the time. We got about a minute left, and then we're going to call it an evening.
cool.
I appreciate you guys coming on with us. Hopefully you got something good from this presentation, even if you didn't buy the software deal. Paul shared some really good strategies for content syndication, for getting free traffic, that I know you guys could actually use and implement right after this webinar. I see David says, great info. Tina says, thank you so much. Such great information tonight. Awesome. Glad you guys appreciated it. Round of applause for Paul.
Definitely. Big round of applause.
Jot down that link as well. You can copy it right from the chat box. If it's still available, that means we haven't hit the 50 yet, but we probably will shortly. So you definitely want to jump in before the special is over.
And you know what? If you're just outside the 50, it just goes up to the 497. Okay, so it's not the end of the world. All right, and it's still a great deal. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so don't panic. All right, but all right. So anyway, thanks Ron for having me on. I really appreciate it. You've got a great audience there, very interactive, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone in the Facebook group, of course.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
that's another thing sorry, that I think is fantastic, is all the support that you're offering, and how you say your support people are there to help fix things, and also, the Facebook group and things like that. Love to see that, because yeah, it's not uncommon in the, online marketing space where, software is developed and you said this has been, you've got tens of thousands of users using it, it works, and you're in it for the long haul. So we really appreciate that.
Cool. I appreciate that, Alice. All right, guys. So if no one else is on the fence, no other questions, I'm just going to hand it back to Ron and say thanks very much for having me on, and I look forward to seeing you guys afterwards. And yeah, thanks for hosting me, Ron. Appreciate it.
All right, so our pleasure. Thank you, and have a good one, guys. We'll talk to you next time.